Congratulations, Anthony. The award recognises an individual who's gone above and beyond to open the game of cricket up to new audiences. How do you feel about not just winning the award in Devon, but also being highly commended on a national level?
It's obviously a huge honour to be recognised, both by Devon and by the ECB, but also, and more importantly, by the parents and those that I've been coaching. It's very it's inspiring to be given recognition for something that I just love doing. So it's just amazing.
Brilliant. So you received an incredible 9 nominations for the work you've done to build the girls' cricket section at Sidmouth from scratch. Can you tell us a bit about how you got involved in the first place, and then what you've done to build up the girls' side?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've always sort of coached. I think from a young age, I was surrounded by people coaching. My dad coached me. I grew up in a village cricket team, and you were taught by all the players, so it was sort of a natural kind of thing for me to just see that as something you do. And I've always been really interested in how the game works, whether that be football or cricket or whatever, and so then trying to pass that information on to others. And I've been lucky enough to be involved in lots of different teams at different times. And then about 20 years ago, I wanted to get into cricket coaching, so I did a level 1 course when I lived up in the Bristol area, and I did a little bit of coaching up there for a few years, and then I moved down to Devon for family reasons, and I actually stopped playing for a few years. I'd had a family, and then I got back into cricket, and around having played for a couple of years, I sort of fell back in love with being involved in the game, and I reached a point in my life a few years ago where I wanted to do things a bit differently. I changed my main job, and I really wanted to get back into giving something back, and so I saw an advert, or I saw the Sidmouth Cricket were advertising for coaches, and I thought, you know what, that's something I've always loved coaching, so let's go for it. Did that. They helped me get qualified as a level 2, and then from there I helped run the All Stars for a year and did some junior coaching, and then they approached me and said, look, we really want to push our girls section, we need someone to lead it, and it was just perfect for me. It's just exactly the kind of thing I kind of love doing. So I started off by relaunching the girls section with using the Dynamos program that the ECB had just added to the All Stars. We used the visuals and the marketing that goes with that to kind of present to the girls an idea that cricket could be for them. The 100 really helped us that year. It was just coming out of COVID. The girls suddenly saw, female professional cricketers playing cricket on the telly. So they suddenly went, this is a game, this is a game for us. And we ran we ran Dynamos for the 8 weeks. It became very apparent very quickly that that wasn't going to be enough. So I extended it. As I worked through that, it became clear to me that for the girls needed to see cricket as something, like a sport for them, and so I felt that if we stopped at the end of the summer and came back a year later, most of those girls wouldn't be with us. So I made a very spontaneous decision just to keep it going. So we trained all through the winter, we trained in the spring, and we came back this summer and repeated, creating our first girls team, under 13 softball team. And I've just been really lucky to have a hugely enthusiastic bunch of girls that have come on board. At the very start, they're pretty much all still engaging. We've grown it from the sort of 12 that came on board initially to 25 plus now, and it's just it just seems to keep moving forward with its own with its own momentum, which is fantastic, you know.
No, that's brilliant. And then what next for the girls section at Sidmouth? What's the plans for the future?
Yeah, so I've been working hard over the winter on plans to where do we take it? How do we keep making it both interesting and relevant for the girls? You know, what do they want to get out of it? What does it look like for them? Because I think, you know, as a middle-aged man that's played cricket for 40 years, you know, I grew up watching Test cricket on the telly. So to me, that's what cricket is. But of course, the youngsters today see a very different version of the game. T20, the Blast, you know, the 100. It's high octane, highly creative, you know, high energy stuff. And I think, you know, we need to kind of be mindful as coaches that that's what they see, that's what they're going to want to do. So we're going to be looking to expand the girls section this year. We're going to try and go certainly to under 11 softball and under 13s softball teams. So that'll add levels. We'll continue our dynamos, so we'll repeat that. And I want to try and link up dynamos more strongly with all-stars, so there's a clear, the girls can transition into all-girls dynamos. I think it's really, when I first started, I was really conscious of whether or not a separate girls pathway was the right thing to do. But having seen how positively creating a space for the girls just to be able to enjoy and explore cricket without together as with their friends, and you know, and forming friendships, it's kind of won me over to believing that it's really important that not only is there the opportunity for the girls to cross across to open age mixed hardball cricket, but also that they can stay together and do that, and also, you know, expanding this opportunity to play softball more, because I think that's definitely an area where I think cricketing, going forward, we've all got to kind of look at the opportunities that softball cricket can really present for certain areas. You know, there's parts of the world where that's essentially what most people play until, because of you know, street cricket, you know, and that kind of thing. It's essentially softball cricket, and it doesn't seem to affect player development. And there's so many benefits to it. It's quicker, it's less dangerous, it's faster to set up, it's more dynamic, and the kids. The more you can get kids playing anything, the better. You know, because that's how they stay involved and they enjoy it. So, yeah, that's our plan.
Brilliant. And then lastly, what would you say to anyone who is thinking about volunteering at their local club? Just do it. You know, the rewards you get back from seeing a smile on a face, from just seeing a child suddenly believe in themselves, and to see and encourage that, and also to see the support from their other group members it's just, yeah, it's priceless stuff that if you could bottle it and put it on a shelf, you know, you would. And so, you know, I get back so much from doing it. And I'll just there was a moment last Saturday, because we're doing coaching on Saturday morning with the girls, and it was one of those moments where you just kind of I just wanted to capture it there and keep it forever. There was a young girl that's come along. She's come along to, I think it was her third session. She's a year 2, 3, I think she was. So she's about 7, 8. Complete beginner. So she's in with a group with girls that have been practicing now for over 2 years, and we were playing a game. And this girl was really reluctant to bat. So everyone encouraged her to give it a go, and then completely prompted by anybody, when she hit the ball, the girls who were fielding, the older girls, chose not to field the ball as effectively as they could, not in a really obvious way, in a really subtle, just enough so she could run to get her cone, to get back, so she could have a really positive experience. And you know, that moment when I saw them do that off their own
fruition, to choose to make that decision for themselves and to do it in such a kind of careful and considered way was just, that's exactly what we're trying to promote with the girls. Just support everybody. It's an environment where they can all come, have fun, enjoy themselves, and make friends, and also learn an amazing game of sport.
Perfect, brilliant. Cheers, Anthony.